Yeah. What is up? What is up? What is up? It's your boy, Wild Carmar in the building. And of course, I got my man holding it down with me for the next 59 minutes from
Yeah,
the K Sports Show. Double
yeah.
J Jones.
What's
What's
up?
up,
What's
brother?
up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's poppin'?
Man, always
Ain't
a
much,
pleasure to
bro.
chop it up with my man Jay Jones, man. Y'all know how it is. This old podcast, BMF Takeover, I.O.W, 613 Fate Productions. We're gonna keep continuing with these collaborations and shutting it down. Hey Jay, let the
What's
people know where they can find you at, pimp.
Hey, man. Hey, I like social media, so I'm all over the place. You dig? So you can find me. I'm mainly on Twitter, popping my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stirring up issues and controversies and trouble. But y'all can find me at J Jones on Twitter, on IG, on Facebook, and on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. 613 Faye Productions, 613 Faye DMB, 613 Faye on IG and Facebook as well, man. Holla at us. And we got the Man Cave Sports Group on Facebook as well. So come through, chop it up with us, man. Me, Mar, a few others, you know what I'm saying? Mail, come through, holla at us, man. You know what it is.
That's what's up. That's what's up. As y'all know the deal. Of course, if y'all ain't watching the Man Cave Sports Show, y'all better be checking out I.W Sports for sure. You can also make sure you man down sports podcast as well. You know, some of the podcasts people that we love to collaborate with. Man, we be bringing that heat. We be bringing better content than so-called ESPN,
I'm trying to tell you.
so-called Fox.
I'm trying to tell you, man. We talking about it all, man. WNBA, Australia Open. We talking about it all, man. And we ain't limited, man. We talk about it all, bro. You know
Facts,
how we
facts,
get down.
facts. Oh yeah, that's how we get down with this OBMN podcast collaboration takeover. And as always, y'all know the deal. You can catch me, the Wild Card Mark. See StreamYard. I got the new joint. I got the joint under my name. The Twitter handle
Hey,
at KC Wild Card Mark. For sure, you can catch me over there. But all the other social media stuff is down below on the bottom of the screen. I.O.W Sports Network is the handle for the Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, the YouTube, where you can catch all the content. And of course, you can follow I.O.W Sports on I.O.W Sports 1 on Twitter as well. So, let's in the building with us. Of course, we got my man MJ, MJ's in the building. I don't know about if we're doing too much college wrestling, dog.
yeah,
I don't
man.
know. I don't mess with the
Oh
cats and
man.
shit.
Oh yeah. Sheesh. Woo.
I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know that much about college wrestling. So,
I ain't
it's
gonna
all
stunt.
good. Hey, AP man, I know I ain't gonna stunt. I ain't gonna know, but I ain't gonna know too much.
I ain't gonna
Hey man,
stunt.
hey.
I don't know where to start.
I do know that there's some of the best wrestling college programs are in the Midwest, like your Iowa States, Wisconsin's.
Nothing like
them farming boys and shit out there wrestling in barnyards and shit. I know
Yeah,
they
they got
good.
it.
Yeah, Penn State's pretty good at wrestling. Yeah, they can have it. Yeah. Um, hey, man, don't never get in a fight with a wrestler because as soon as you miss, they take your
Game
ass down to
over.
the ground.
But how do you know if it's a wrestler or not, though? How do you peep if it's a wrestler or just a dude with muscles? You can
Always
okay.
look at the cauliflower ear. If
Okay.
you That's how you can tell if a cat is a wrestler. Always look at the ear. You look for the cauliflower ear, and he got the joint looking like straight cauliflower. Leave homeboy
Okay.
alone. Leave him
Got
alone.
you.
Because I'm
I mean,
telling you.
I'm the most you got it guy ever right now, bro. Don't even
Oh, you
don't
got
even
it.
worry. You got it, bro. I don't need
He's
you
still,
got it.
he's
So,
still the most you got it guy in the world.
yeah, hey, you got it, bro. I
Hey,
don't
you
need
got it, man. Hey, we too old to be scrapping, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to go home, bro.
Yeah, that is the mission. That is the mission for sure. But look, as always, y'all know the deal, man. Go ahead, follow us on all those social media platforms. But man, just to be honest, man, a lot of things to talk about. We're gonna get to the juicy stuff that happened over the weekend with the
You.
whole there was a trade, just in case y'all weren't paying
Ooh.
attention. There was a big name that moved, and of course dropping in, he's going to join us, our residential basketball guru, our boy Melvin Wall from the Man Down Sports Podcast. He's taking care of some family business, but he's gonna be in here in any moment because we're gonna have a serious conversation about the whole Kyrie Irving situation. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. But man, I owe you an apology, Jay. I owe you an apology, bro. The reason why I owe you an apology is because, just in case y'all didn't pay attention, with last episode of the Man Cave Sports Show, you know, I kind of brushed off the Pro Bowl. I kind of brushed it off. I owe you an apology.
It's like, man, it's flag football, bro. Like,
see, but
I understood.
But this is why I owe you an apology. And for those who didn't check out the Pro Bowl this weekend, it was a series of events that took place Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it concluded on Sunday with the flag football game, and they had other things. And reason why I gotta backtrack a little bit on what I'm saying, and correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm reaching, Double J. Just let me know if I'm reaching.
Okay.
But I think the NFL possibly might got this right. And the reason why I say that is because we talk about marketing. We talk about ways to get people excited about the players and the people who actually are, the commodity. The players are the ones that drive the money. And so this gives everybody who's not even a everyday watcher of football like we are, it gives them a chance to be drawn in because, one, you see these people's faces.
Yep.
You see their faces. So now you can put a name with the face. That's recognition number one. Number two, not only do you get to see their faces, you get to see their personalities.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you put a name with a face. Now you see how they act amongst other football players, how they act in a setting that's supposed to be fun and it's somewhat competitive as well. So you get the personalities. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And three, this literally took me back to when we was younger, dog, and we watched the American Gladiators, the all the obstacle courses, a Legend of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon. It kind of gave me a little bit of obstacle course vibe, the dodgeball, the long drive, and it's just all these cumulative events that equals up to the final score. And the flag football is just a piece of it. And I think that's where I gotta owe the apologies because I was so hung up on the flag football part.
Right. No, I understand and I agree. And the only reason I kind of like rocked with the flag football was, like you said, for the marketing purposes. Mm-hmm. And I know when I was listening to what's the podcast with Brandon Marshall, I Am Athlete.
Yeah, I Am Athlete. Yeah.
And they were talking about marketing and why NFL athletes don't have their own cleats and stuff like that. And they were like, because a lot of the people don't know who they are because they always wear a helmet. So when I saw the flag football, I was disappointed because we all kind of, we grew up on the Pro Bowl,
You see it.
Standard Pro Bowl, right? And so now it's kind of like watered down with all these rules and regulations and this flag football. So I just looked at it from that standpoint and just, like you said, and even like I didn't catch the whole Pro Bowl. I caught some of it. And I just, like you said, I seen like Sunshine running in the back of the end zone. He threw a pick six to Jair Alexander, and you know what I'm saying. It just seemed like regular fun, like you just in the parking lot or on the field with your homies and just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And I got that vibe. I definitely got that vibe. That this was just a backyard pickup game. Ain't nobody trying to get hurt, But they did. That third game, they amped it up a little bit. You can see that they amped it up a little bit because you saw cats wanted to win at that point. But for the most part, man, I'm like you. It was definitely had a pickup game vibe, and that's why I'm like, you know what? As much as I at first I hated the concept of what the NFL was doing, I got out of my feelings. I was like, I understand what they're doing. I understand it. It's another way because check this out. So, and you kind of said it. You talking about NFL players, they ain't got their own special cleats and that because people don't see them. They don't have the helmets. And that's an advantage that the NBA has. You see cats with shoe deals and you get to see their personalities because you can put a name with the face. You get to see them. And so that's always been one of the advantages that the NBA marketing-wise has had over NFL players. But now, and it just, if it's just for the Pro Bowl, then so be it. It gives people a chance to put all that together and literally mark it at such a crazy time. And think about it. It goes from Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 3 days of the Pro Bowl for all those events that they had. And then you go
Yep.
straight into Super Bowl week. So literally the
So
NFL is going to have some type of mentioning for like 10 days straight, bro.
right, and so that's what I was gonna say too. If you peeped it, they took the NBA All-Star format and made it a whole weekend,
Mm,
right? Because I mean, I think once
they did.
before it used to be like Saturday, Sunday. It was like 1 or 2 days. It was like you had the accuracy competition. You know what I'm saying? It was like all of it was on like Saturday. But now it started Thursday. You had something Thursday. I don't know if it was something Friday, but I know you had something Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, the game was Sunday, but it was kind of like the stretch of the weekend. So you know, they kind of took something from the NBA and kind of tried it. I don't know about all the events if they're gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
you're
like
right. You're right. Look,
some of
hey,
the
you're right.
events.
Because
I was just like, this might not
hey,
be the move.
hey,
But
I'm with AP. I'm with AP. I didn't like the best catch. He said the shit was lame. Take that out, please. Look,
the players hitting the golf ball, I thought that shit was kind of lame too. I was like, I can do without that. But yeah, I didn't see. I think I seen like one or two of the best catch. That was the joint with the water balloons and shit, right?
now the best
They
catch
was
is when they was literally jumping off of trampolines and doing like acrobatic
okay,
catches and
okay.
stuff, which is cool. But my thing is like I get it, and it gives you that real Madden fantasy feel about it, because it's something that would never happen in a real life game. I mean, unless you was homeboy from the Cincinnati Bengals that flipped over like three defenders to get an end zone, Jerome Simpson.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless
yeah.
but look, I don't, I don't. There's that one. So I'm with AP. I don't know about the best catch. I don't know if that's gonna stick because some of the stuff like it was kind of corny. It was kind of unrealistic. But I mean, overall, if from a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at least give it um uh, a 9 in a concept because I love the concept. I love what they're trying to do. Now, the only problem is as good as the concept is for people that's in our age group, it's like we've seen American Gladiator shit, we've seen this shit, so it's like,
Yeah,
is it going to be able to sustain? That's the only thing I'm worried about is the sustainability of the format. What you
right.
think?
I mean, like, so I would have liked to see, and maybe they had this. I know they had like a kick tack toe or something like that, or which could be, which might not have been that bad. I think it's sustainable. I think dodgeball, you can keep that. I think that's pretty dope. The
Yeah,
gauntlet is pretty good. The quarterback accuracy, I think those three right there are the three that you keep most definitely, and everything else you gotta try to tweak. Um, I think it's sustainable. I think the players had fun. I mean, you can do the relay race too. I think maybe did they have a tug of war kind of thing this year?
I don't.
I didn't see all of it this weekend, so y'all gotta excuse me. But I think it's sustainable though. I think you know what I'm saying. I think they're trying to find a niche, and I think they can. It's just finding what is going to be like to the strength of the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Putting water balloons, having players catch water balloons, like that's we're not at a 5-year-old birthday party, bro. Like that, I want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't add anything to the game where you can, you know what I'm saying, show off the defensive lineman, offensive lineman strength. You know what I'm saying? Like some, and I believe they had that. I apologize if I'm misspeaking, but I think it'll be sustainable though. I think they're trying to figure it out. So they're gonna have some good and some bad. It's just you know, we just
Tweak.
gotta
Got to
unfortunately deal
tweak.
with it and watch them as they tweak it. But they definitely got to keep them three. They got to keep the dodgeball joint. They got to keep the QB accuracy, and I think they got to keep the gauntlet. Those are the three things you got to keep.
For sure, and they'll,
You
they'll
got to
definitely
keep it.
they'll keep the flag football.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. and do the relay race or the race. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
your mic ain't off, is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I hear you fine. You know, Mel might be he in Cali, so he might be on that Cali buzz. So who
I
knows?
was gonna say, man, last time I was on here, my mic was messed up. Y'all can hear me out there? Yeah.
Nah, I hear you. I don't know. Everybody give me a thumbs up if we hear Jay fine in the comments, please. But I hear you just fine. But no. Not only did the NFL had their Pro Bowl this weekend, but there was a couple of storylines that might have came out. So I want to get your take on this. Devontae Adams, of course, being in Vegas, Pro Bowl was in Vegas. He was asked, "Is there a possible reunion in the desert with AR-12?" Man, what do you think of a possible reunion with AR-12 and Devontae Adams out in Las Vegas, man?
Well, the Packers said they wanted to trade him to an AFC team. Raiders are AFC team.
Mm-hmm.
You got somebody advocating for you, right? You've been successful with this guy for over, a period of time. Yeah. Why not? Right? You know what I'm saying? I think I don't think it's far fetched. I think they can definitely make that happen. I don't know what the Raiders salary cap is and what they have, what their financials are looking like if they're able to take Aaron Rodgers' contract. But yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are obviously getting rid of Derek Carr. I mean, and
we had a good Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and matter of fact, he spoke about being let go. He said, "Well, that's why I'm not gonna be there next year." But
Hey, that joint was fun at all.
That shit was savage, man. Derek Carr was savage for that one. But I can see that happening, man. I think Devontae realizes, man, if I'm not gonna have my best friend or my college teammate, you know what I'm saying? No, it's who better else to have than somebody that I'm familiar with and that I know is gonna take us to the next level. So it's not far fetched. I believe that Aaron Rodgers can. I believe he might be in Vegas. I don't know about the coaching staff. That's my only issue. With Josh McDaniels in the front office. I don't know if it's any better than Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, their front office is kind of like hit or miss too. But it's definitely a possibility. AR goes to Vegas with Devontae. Reunited and it
feels so good.
Yeah, man. Why not?
Hey, man, you hit a couple of things that sparked my ear, and I think you hit it right on the head. Josh McDaniels in the front office. That's what's really, really, really scaring the hell out of me. AP says Packers really can't move Aaron Rodgers until June 1st. After June 1st, it's a $15 million hit. If you cut him, $99 million, retire $60 million. Trading him before June 1st is $40 million.
Still a lot. Gee. And you still gotta figure out what you're gonna do with Josh Jacobs, because he's the leading rusher. He might be walking.
Bruh, that's another thing. You got to figure out how to pay Josh Jacobs, and what are you going to pay him? It's still a running back position. I know he led the league in rushing. We both know how good he is as a running back.
Yeah.
But do you still pay running back money? I mean, go ask the Cowboys if you pay running back money.
Man, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Like, you get AR, you lose your running back, then you forcing AR to throw possibly more than you want him to throw.
A lot more.
Right. So you gotta find a medium. Me personally, I don't think Josh Jacobs is coming back to Vegas. I think he's just fed up.
I think they've done too much. I think they've done too much dirt.
He's done with the shits.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem with Aaron Rodgers. That salary, man. That salary is shit. I mean, for him it's good, but to try to move him to another team, it's gonna be tough. You got to find a team that only needs a quarterback and has the money to do so.
It's a lot of ifs.
There's a lot of ifs, because you still got to figure their defense is still not really that good. It's all right, but in the division with y'all in the AFC West, bro,
And that's crazy because the AFC West, obviously, with Sean Payton coming over there, I mean, it's fair to say that you should see instant um, better for Russell. I mean, that's to me, that's not fair to ask for. I mean, you were a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, I'm you know, Russell paired with Sean Payton, still got a good defense, still got good pieces. Obviously, you see Justin Herbert's going to be in the conversation with the Chargers. I mean, if Brandon Staley don't coach their way out of contention, which always is a
Sheesh,
possibility.
man.
Um, I mean, obviously, you talk about the Chiefs, who are obviously got a big game this weekend. So, but I, to me, I think the West, AFC West, is starting to turn out to what it was supposed to be this year, where it's supposed to be very highly competitive, very one of those divisions that are so tough. But I mean,
Man,
I don't. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, why spend the last few years of your career battling Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes for 4 games out of your schedule? Why?
it's the competitive drive,
Nah,
man.
man, damn that. I'm old. I want the easiest. I want the path of least resistance, man.
I mean, but shit, the NFC North ain't. I mean, it's getting better. You got the Vikings, you got
Come
Detroit.
on, now don't do that. You
It's
saw
not.
how
It's
fraudulent. No, you saw how fraudulent them motherfuckers
Minnesota,
was,
yeah.
man.
But I mean, it's not the AFC West. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's better. It's not as cakewalk as it used to be. Because you used to look at the AFC North and be like, oh yeah, that's Green Bay. But
Man,
now it's
easy,
getting a
dog.
little better. Their offense is still legit. Their defense just is trash. But I feel you though. I mean, at this point, man, I don't think he got really too many other options though, bro. I think like I don't think too many other teams. I mean, maybe the Jets, maybe the Raiders. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't
AP
really see too
says,
many other
get
options.
Rogers and tag Josh. Uh, yeah, I can see them doing that, but if you tag Josh Jacobs, you're still looking at what 16, 17 million a year for running
Yeah,
back at the running back position just for that 1 year guaranteed. Like you got to come off that 16, 17 million. I I don't understand how the hell they got to this point of letting to the point you got to make a decision whether to tag Josh Jacobs or not. I don't know how they
because
even got to this point,
remember they played him in the Hall of Fame game, and they was just like they didn't pick his fifth. They didn't pick his fifth-year option up.
which is wild.
So that's how we here. And they had to let Derek Carr go because he was the scapegoat because they couldn't get rid of Josh McDaniels because they still owe Gruden.
Yeah,
So
they owe Gruden a lot of money, brother.
you know what I'm saying? So
Then
that's how we here.
bro, they'd have been stuck paying two salaries, Gruden and McDaniel's salary, had they
Yeah,
dumped him.
and then the current coach, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's messed up right now in Vegas. I mean, yeah, you can tag them, but I don't think the Raiders' offensive line is like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money tied up in one person or two
Yeah,
people. You know what I'm saying? When you got other hoes.
a lot of holes. A
Pause. But
lot of
yeah.
holes.
But
not
yeah,
not
yeah.
yeah, hoes. We ain't talking about Nate dog. We talking about they got a lot of
You
things
know
to
the
fix in
Raiders.
Vegas.
The Raiders.
The
Yeah, man.
Raiders.
That shit.
Rogers plus Vegas Eagles retire, get a
That's a
home
good
in Vegas.
place. It's a good place to
Retire in
retire.
Vegas. Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's
got
not a
some money
bad
to
place.
blow too. He got some money to blow, but I seen him kind of tweeting back and forth, and I seen it. I was like, okay, this could possibly happen. But to me, it's kind of strange because it felt like Devontae kind of wanted out of Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers, though. Like it seemed like their relationship was kind of on eggshells, and I thought that was part of the reason why he wanted out of Green Bay.
Yeah, from what I remember, and from what I gathered, Devontae he wanted to stay, but I think he was really kind of irritated with the whole Aaron Rodgers back and forth. Does he want to be here? Uncertain of his future, and so I'm not mad at Devontae Adams to say,
Me
"Yo,
neither.
let me get up out of here because I don't know about my quarterback's future. I don't know if he wants to be here." So I think that did play a big part into him wanting out of Green Bay. But now this is the situation where this isn't where I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to really say about this situation. Well, he does, but what I'm saying is this is the first time that we've heard in the last few years that it's more the organization that's like, yo, we about tired of this shit, dog. Because this is the first time we've heard this.
Yeah,
you know,
shit, it seems like it's even surprising Aaron. Like he like shit, man. I ain't really got too much. They want to trade me to an AFC team. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, you got the Colts, Raiders, Jets. I'm not putting my team in there because I don't want to see AR in Nashville. But
come on, Jay. Come on, Jay. You know good and damn well that's an upgrade, bro.
An upgrade from what? I mean, it's an upgrade at the quarterback position, but we ain't got nobody on the outside to throw it to. He might as well stay in Green Bay. And we got too many positions that need to be filled, man. We good, man. We good on AR, man. I appreciate the services, but he can move forward, man. He can skip the line and go, elsewhere.
But I wouldn't rule it out. Reason why I wouldn't rule it out is because your man got property over that way.
That's cool. He can visit in the off season. I just for me again, I just don't feel like Aaron Rodgers is like the answer. If like we had weapons on the outside and it was truly Tannehill holding us back, then I'd be like, yeah, we need AR-12. But we don't have the weapons outside. Our offensive line is kind of bad. We got some other things to fix. I don't want to spend that money on one player and we still ain't gonna get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the answer in my book.
Damn it, Matt. What are we doing, Matt? What are we doing, bro? Look at this. Look at this. Look what Matt's doing. Matt, I know you ride for your boy Eli.
I mean, Eli got 2. I get it. He got 2. Aaron got 1. Aaron's postseason record is.
Yeah, Aaron's postseason record is dookie. It is.
Bad. So, I mean, it's debatable.
All right. Okay. I got you. MJ, I'm willing to concede this. All right. I'm willing to concede this. If I will take Eli Manning in the playoffs over Aaron Rodgers, I will agree with you on that. Yeah. I can agree with you on that. Now, if you're talking about overall totality of career, I don't know if I can. You can have a debate because I'm not gonna shut it down as you have no validity to that debate. I will give you that, but I don't know about the whole totality of his career. But I will say, like, if it comes down to crunch time, playoffs.
Oh, give me Eli all day in the postseason.
That's what I'm saying. I can rock with it. What's up, Kofi? Shout out to my man, Kofi Winston.
What up?
Dirty Hills, him and good brother both. My man came through on last Thursday and did the impromptu Royal Rumble review. So y'all make sure y'all go on over to Dirty Hills podcast on YouTube, Facebook. Go show them cats some love for show. One of the best wrestling podcasts, as well as the In the Four Corners of Wrestling with them fellas over there. So I'm gonna have to link y'all up. Kofi, holla at me. I'm gonna link you up with my In the Four Corners boys. So that'll be a good little collaborate there. But no, I'm just
I mean, AR has had a lot more weapons than Eli, and you can make an argument, like you said. I take Eli postseason, AR regular season, because AR regular season cooks.
Something nonsense. He's obnoxious in the regular season.
But when he gets to that playoffs, whew.
Yeah, but that's what bothers me about him. Is because we can't sit here and be stuck on that 2010 championship. Like it's 13 years later, bro.
Like that championship, bro. Like you talking about putting asterisks next to things like that whole playoff team that he ran against or that he was going against. I think all 3 of them had backup QBs or something like that. I think I forgot I can't remember his playoff run, but if you look it up, like look at his Super Bowl run, the teams that he played to get to the Super Bowl, they all had like a key QB injury or something like that. It's something that's
because Jay Cutler was out of there. I forget.
Jay Cutler was out. I think
he got hurt and he went against who was it?
I can't think of the name, but it's that's what I'm saying. Like even when he went against them, it was still like he didn't play the other team was missing key players. I put it like that. So
Yeah.
even when you look at that run, I mean, I ain't gonna take nothing from them because you still had to play, but you know, it wasn't like that. But yeah, I mean, you look at his MVPs, his recent MVPs, like he put up numbers in the regular season, but he just, man, like, are we judging off regular season or are we judging off chips?
Hey, y'all know the deal. We want them chips, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
We want them chips.
We judging off MVPs or we judging off chips? Y'all let me know what the criteria is. Everybody got different ones.
Hey,
just let me know.
Hey, I feel you, dog. Because at some point, man, like all the regular season wins look good. They cute and all, but
yeah.
But with your playoff record, you're looking a little ugly Betty over there.
Yeah, the most winningest regular season quarterback. Like, when did you bro? We want chips over here. Nah, that shit doesn't count.
In a long time. Hey, come on. Hey, y'all, dog, it's been a minute, dog. It's been a hot minute since you've been in the Super Bowl. Since you won one.
Yeah.
So
we ain't won one. We ain't got one. I don't even know the feeling.
Hey, you been there? Hey,
that shit was about back then with Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl winning shit, bro. That was too long ago, bro. R.I.P. my man Steve. That was too far back, bro. We need something recent. We need something now. So
AP says, do you need a chip to get in the Hall of Fame? Can you have an MVP? Oh, no, you definitely get in the Hall of Fame just being an MVP. Look at Dan Marino. My thing is, if you don't have chips, you got to be a bad motherfucker, though. You got to be a bad motherfucker.
You definitely
Dan
but it's just,
that's why Dan Marino's in there.
Dan Marino, it's going to be a lot of players. And we spoke about it on Man Cave, like Josh Allen. Like, it's going to be a lot of players like him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Josh will win one. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but it's going to be a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard.
It's going to be a lot.
It's going to be hard for Josh Allen to get one, man.
Yeah, so you don't got to have a chip to get in, but you know, chips definitely help. Chips help.
They do.
You know, like Matt Ryan, like I don't.
Collapse is hurt.
He's a, you know, people gonna argue if he's a Hall of Famer or not. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Collapse is hurt, dog. That ain't gonna help. Collapse is hurt, though.
Man, not just one of them. He had about 3-4 of them things. So, I mean, you know, you look at somebody like him, it's gonna be hard to make an argument for him because he had a long career. He had good teams, but he ain't never get no chip. And like you said, he got 3-4 bad collapses. You know, they weren't all his fault, but he played a part in them. So,
oh yeah, definitely played a part in them. It's here's my thing. I don't obviously my criteria for all sports and on debating on whether you're a Hall of Famer or not is obviously it's not just about your numbers, but you definitely got to have some numbers personally wise. You got to win. You know, some kind of awards or accolades that prove you are one of the best. You know, MVP helps, or offensive rookie of the year. What's up, Mel? Defensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year. You know, those awards help.
Mel.
You know, but you know, you got to factor in some team success. I mean, like for me, you can't be you know, patting the stats on a losing team. You know, you're not getting no votes for MVP. You're not getting no playoff success. You're not even sniffing the playoffs. So obviously your team success ain't there, but you putting up, you know, almost 2,000 yards in rushing for what? You're on a losing team. Like, to me, is empty calories. It don't add up to nothing significant. Now, I'm not gonna knock the hustle that you got the rushing yards because you obviously you got to play because you know you're in the game. You got to play.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
tough.
Equate to nothing, man.
It's definitely. I feel like Deion had made mention like now they just letting anybody into the Hall of Fame.
But I agree with them though.
Me too. You gotta have you gotta have some type of another criteria for the elite players. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, pretty much what Prime said is.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Prime said is the Hall of Fame is a very exclusive club. Now, what it should be is if you have the exclusive club, but you also got the VIP room in the exclusive
There
club,
you
and
go.
that's where you should separate your elite Hall of Famers to. That dude's a Hall of Famer because I've heard the same clip from Prime when he's like
Yeah,
he
man.
looking around, he talking with his people. He's like, "Yo, man, we used to butt this motherfucker's ass all the time. What is he doing in here?"
Exactly. You gotta have a different wristband to get on this level, baby. You can't just come in here on regular, baby. You got to have a different kind of wristband, baby.
Like, who let this
So
motherfucker in?
yeah, we invite the tomorrow guy in this joint, man? Like you gotta have that different wristband, baby. You can't just be regular, man.
Be like, yo,
You
our,
can't be
our wristband is
regular.
golden. Like yours is kind of faded. What you doing in here?
Yeah.
Like,
Did he switch wristbands with somebody? Like, how you get in here?
be like,
So,
fam, did you borrow that from somebody?
yeah, man. Definitely. That's what it is, man. Because man. Hall of Fame is a great brotherhood, man. But sometimes you just like
You gotta
question
separate
some
the.
shit, man.
Hey, man, there's levels to the shit.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
Meek say, there's levels to this shit. And look, everybody can't be looked in the same microscope or looked at the
Right.
same way. I
Yeah.
mean, it's funny that you like even Matt. He says, look at Troy Aikman's career numbers, and he's in. Yeah, this is look at Terry Bradshaw, Joe Namath. But a lot of these old timers played in a different game than what they are was
Yeah.
now. So like, and this it's not. So here's my thing. I'm not going to punish all the guys
You
who have
came
been playing
before.
football for the last 20 years for this very explosive and offensive advantage for the NFL. I'm not going to blame them for that. That's the NFL. You know, the
Right.
NFL is trying to make money. They want to see people score, so that's what they're going to do. But I'm just looking at when it comes with uh, did you or did you not make the throws? Did you ball? I mean,
Like, how was you in the clutch? Like, what'd you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm looking at you. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, those moments count.
Oh yeah, big time. But my thing is like I don't like it when a lot of people get confused on just the stats of people and really dive deep in the meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, the
yeah,
analytical side of it.
yeah. And my thing is like, well, when were you doing this? Like, were you making all these points back because your team was trailing all the time, or like that's one of my biggest knocks on Dak Prescott is he gets a lot of his passing yards, especially the last few years. His team's trailing, so you throwing for all these passing yards. Yeah, it looks good, but you playing from behind all the time.
Yeah.
Like, can you play with a lead? Can you win a game up 20, 25 points or whatever? Like put those numbers up to put your team ahead, not because you're behind trying to catch up. You
And
know,
that's why I've become a fan of Joe Burrow
mm,
because to me he can do both, right?
yeah,
Like he can make the throws that you need him to throw in the clutch. We've seen him do it in the clutch. We've seen him do it to get the lead. We've seen him, come back. We've seen most quarterbacks, and he can go on the road and do it. He can do it in the rain and stuff. Like I rock with Joe Burrow. Like I
yeah.
think he's here to stay. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? So, but yeah, that's why I ask people when it comes to certain things, like, what's your criteria? That's going to tell me all I need to know because everybody go by different criteria. So,
Yeah, I just don't go by stats because to me stats can be
yeah,
misleading. They can be
yeah,
very misleading. And let's be honest. I mean, we all use stats at some point in time to help build our argument. But my thing
right,
is I use stats to help as a lawyer to help build my case to understand that what we're seeing is exactly what's being uh spoken about on the stat sheet. Because my
right,
thing is if you just go by off of stats, man, you're missing the true essence of what are you seeing? What are you
right.
looking at? And you gotta. I just think people gotta find that balance in between the eye test and stats and and being able to be realistic about what you're seeing and be able to back it up with actually things that you can measure.
Right.
But just going off of stats or just going by eye test, I think you're eliminating a big factor of things that can help people build your case on exactly what your take is. Because if you're just throwing a take out there and you're like, well, you ain't got nothing to back that up.
Right. Just throwing your opinion out there.
Yeah, an opinion. Everybody got an opinion. Hell.
You know what they say about that? What about opinions, baby?
Hey, say nobody.
We know what they say about them things.
Yeah.
So, you gotta have some facts to back up your statement. Some facts.
Nah, I'm with you on that. People need to go watch film of Barry Sanders and what he did basically by himself. That's a different thing. Barry Sanders had to carry 10 years for 10 years carry the franchise, bro. All right.
Yeah, and quick because they didn't get him no help.
Hey, I don't blame him.
I ain't mad at Barry. I just hated that he left, man. I hate that he left, but I understood.
Oh, I understood for sure. I'm with you. Understood, but damn, it hurt.
That
hurt because Barry was electric. He was fun to watch. It's like literally every time Barry Sanders touched the football, you're like, yo, you better pay attention. This dude might do something that you might have never seen.
I mean, he made even when he lost a yard or two, he made the shit look sweet, bro. Like I ain't never seen somebody lose a yard or two so beautifully than Barry.
It's the most beautiful loss.
Yeah. Like, man, he shook 3 people that lost 2 yards. Damn, so beautiful, Barry.
Hey, man, but no, man, I love it. Obviously, but football, all football topics push it aside, man. It was great Pro Bowl weekend. Got a couple of storylines that's going to come out of the Pro Bowl, but I gotta give, hey. Bravo, NBA. Bravo, NBA. This is why I say bravo, NBA, because they finally got it right. They finally know how to do battle with the NFL. And this is what I mean. So NFL likes to drop headlines out when they're not in play. And they like to drop headlines out during, June, July. And it's to steal headlines from the NBA and other sports.
Right.
So bravo, NBA, by finally taking a piece of the NFL's playbook, and y'all turned around and stole some thunder from the Pro Bowl weekend. Stole some thunder from the Pro Bowl weekend.
Got to.
With the drop of Kyrie Irving is going to Dallas. Kyrie Irving is going to Dallas. Man. So,
woo!
Double J.
Man.
How you feel about
so many questions, so many. I heard the news. I was kind of surprised, right? I know they've been mentioning certain teams, the Mavericks, the Heat. I think the
Clippers, Suns even came in that conversation.
Yeah, and it was kind of surprising to me because Luka and Kyrie are both dominant basketball handlers.
Yeah.
So for them to make this trade, and it's a riddle piece, right? Because we don't know if Kyrie is going to re-sign in Dallas. So it's like Dallas is hoping and praying that whatever happens for the rest of the season is enough to keep Kyrie, because they lost Dinwiddie, they lost Finney Smith, they lost a few draft picks. Me personally, I don't think this is going to work. I think they're going to have games where it's like, oh, I told you that shit was going to work. I told you it was going to work. Mm-hmm. But there's no defense. Yeah, there's no defense right here. Who's coming off the ball? Who's handling the ball? Who's bringing the ball up court? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of questions. And then, of course, what happens with KD in Brooklyn, right? There's a lot of teams talking about now he might be going to Phoenix, might be linked to Boston. I know they were trying to get rid of him, but I also blame Brooklyn's management, Sean Marks and Joe Tsai. I think they're not the best at what they do at all when it comes to managing a NBA team. But I'm not I know they was trying to get rid of Kyrie. They didn't want to pay him. I thought you should have been able to work something out with them. I don't know what was going on off the court, but I think it was good for Brooklyn, bad for Dallas in the long run. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching it play out like everybody else. I think he's supposed to play tonight. or the next time Dallas plays. But he's going to be offensively explosive. It's going to take away from Luka's MVP attempt because I think Jokic is going to win the MVP again, regardless of what anybody says.
30 in a row?
I think so, bro.
Wow.
He's averaging a triple double right now, and his team is number 1 in the West. Would you like?
Yeah. That's what the NBA likes. No, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. And so I just feel like, it's a good temporary fix, but if Dallas, you better hope he stays, because if he don't stay, man, this is a huge L. And I know Mark Cuban was trying to get Luka some help to keep Luka there, but I just don't think this was the best help for him at the moment.
What? And I love some of your takes. I really do. Because I'm with you. I don't know how this is going to work, just because how do you keep a talent like Kyrie suppressed because you want to have Luka shine as your star? Because let's be honest, Dallas Mavericks, their star for the last 25 years in Dallas has been a European in Luka Doncic and a European in Dirk Nowitzki. That's been their star. Right. All right. So how does a guy like Kyrie, who, his reputation speaks for itself, talent-wise, we know what he is. I'm not going to speak into all the other antics of the media play, because to me that shit's silly, and that shit ain't got shit to do with basketball. And I'll have that conversation on another time. But when because I just want to have like a pure basketball conversation, and we're talking about a guy in Kyrie who, the Nets and whatever, just couldn't work it out. Because I agree with you. I think management fumbled the ball, because to me, there's no way you have James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant on one squad, and all of a sudden you can't get not one playoff a finals appearance out of that. You can't get, come on. Like,
the biggest disappointment ever.
Bruh,
the biggest disappointment.
It's one of the biggest disappointment. And my thing is like, I know there were injuries and there were times that you couldn't get all three of them on the court. Hell, you couldn't get KD and Kyrie on the court sometimes. But my thing is if this is a long-term project, a long-term situation, you're going to wait it out. Injuries don't happen all the time. You're going to be patient enough, because you'd be like, yo, I ain't worried about the injuries. Look, you know who we got? We got three of the top 50 players on our roster. Be patient. We're fine. And I don't think the management was patient enough. I don't think they, as much as they put out there in the media, they did all that they could to support them.
No, they didn't. Yeah. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit.
And my thing is narratives are narratives, and like I said, I'm not going to speak on that. But my thing is like, these are some of the best players in the world, and you couldn't have the patience enough to let it just mature. I know there's things you can't control, but I want to bring in our basketball guru. I always come to this guy when I have basketball questions. From the Man Down Sports. From the Men Down Sports page, the podcast, the one and the only Melvin Wall. What's up, my guy?
This man said one and only.
Yeah, the one and only. The one and only.
It's a lot of Mel Walls out there, man.
No. It may be many. It may be many. There ain't a Melvin Wall like you.
My granddad is a Melvin Wall, man.
Yeah, but he ain't you.
Yeah. What's up, Jay? What's up?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me, man? Because I know
I could hear you the whole time. It's just, it seemed like you might be coming through your computer and not your mic.
Oh, is it still like that?
Yeah. Or maybe the mic up to high. I don't know. It sounds weird. It don't sound like your usual podcast.
Got you. Dang. Okay.
Yeah, hey, Jay, just go over this.
Hold on. Say something again.
Yo, can you hear me?
It's a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, don't worry about it. Hey, Mel's a perfectionist. Everybody can hear you, man. Hey, Mel.
Yes, sir.
Man, drop the tag. Let everybody know where they can find you at, Pimp.
Oh, Man Down Sports on YouTube, man. Just go check it out. Give us a sub over there, man. And then I mean, there's so many good sports Facebook groups out there, man. Sports, Man Cave and I.O.W. and all that stuff. But we got one as well, Man Down Sports on Facebook, and you can check us out over there too. Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Perfect. What was
there
it?
you go. There you go.
My
hit
mic
that
was on
settings.
it was on a different. Yeah, hit the settings
Told
joint,
you.
man.
I
Damn.
told you. Yeah,
I gotta come back and do it again, man. I gotta come back on the.
Nah, you good, bro. Now you good, bro. So check this out. And Jay, just jump in here if you got questions for Mel, any basketball questions anywhere. But I want to start with this, Mel. Just give me your first initial reaction. First of all, the trade request was done on Friday, and no later than 24, 48 hours later, he gone. So give me your first initial reaction on the trade request and the trade destination.
I don't even know where to start, man. The request, man, like everybody, man, was shocked, man, at the request, man, because they was playing so well. They finally got Katie and Kyrie on the court, and we got to see what they look like, man. There's no injuries, there's no suspension, and I'm like, yo, this is it right here, man. But it was just so much history between Sean Marks, Kyrie Irving, and Joe Tsai, and that's the reason why KD this summer was like, the only way I can come back and rescind my trade request and play is if you fire Steve Nash and Sean Marks, because it was so much bad. Like, you can imagine the type of things that might have been said, the innuendos, the tones people took, not supporting Kyrie and all that stuff, man. It was so much stuff that was going on that we don't know about. I guess KD felt like, man, I cannot play for Steve Nash and Sean Marks the way they treated my best friend. Like, I can't do it. You can't change the owner, because I'm pretty sure he was involved too, but you can't change the owner. But KD in a roundabout way was saying, man, get somebody new in here that's gonna respect me and Kyrie, and we can move forward with that, man. So that was the first initial thing when I heard the trade. I was like, well, they can't get that contract situated.
Yeah.
And Kyrie had just said something about it a week before. They can't get it situated, and they must have disrespect him furthermore. And then, of course, hours later, you find out that they got stipulations in his contract saying, championship clause, game clause. There's so many other things in there where his money wasn't fully guaranteed, and it just didn't make sense, man. He was like, "Look, man, y'all just go keep playing with me. Just forget it, man. Just send me away."
True. Now let me ask you this, Mel. So why did they let Jalen Brunson walk, but trade for Kyrie and they know Kyrie wants the extension long term? Or was this supposed to be a short-term fix?
So,
in your opinion,
I think Jalen Brunson walking, because I think the Knicks was under investigation for tampering that, because he got I think his dad works. So they had the inside scoop, and Mark Cuban said he didn't get a chance to make an offer before he went and signed with the Knicks. So imagine if you my pops, Jay, and you over at the Knicks, and I'm playing with Luka. And remember the famous quote Brunson had after that trade went final. He said, "I feel like," no, it wasn't Brunson that said it. His agent said it. Said Brunson feels like he has more to offer than what he can showcase playing in Dallas, which means I'm a point guard, but I can't even play point guard because Luka got the ball, right? That's basically what it was, right? So, imagine you over there and you telling me, "Look, bro, I can get you the bag and you can get the ball." You get what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
I can get you the bag and you can get the ball. And he almost made All-Star this year. So
he should have. I think he should have too.
So that was a no-brainer. So Mark Cuban, he didn't have a chance for Brunson. That's number one. Number two, with this Kyrie thing, I think they already must have talked to Kyrie and let him know that we're interested in bringing you in for the max. And that's what Kyrie want. He want the max. Like, saying he want to be in LA and all that stuff, man, it's not quite smoke and mirrors. He would have done it if he would have got the max, but he was seeking the max. And the Mavs are a team that's in playoff contention, just like kind of the Lakers are, right? So it didn't have to be the Lakers. And if you really think about it, he probably would rather play somewhere other than where LeBron is at anyway, because he going back in that shadow that he ran from before. And if it would have worked out, they would have said, "See, I told you he can't do anything without LeBron."
Right.
Mm-hmm. True.
Escape that narrative. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm over here uh, uh thinking, and of course, me and Jay were talking about it. And how's this makeup of Dallas is going to work? Like, obviously, the initial thoughts is ball dominant Luka. Uh, Kyrie's not going to get the ball. Of course, that's the initial reaction most basketball people who watch basketball are going to think. You're thinking of a ball dominant Luka. How the hell is Kyrie going to get his piece? So, you being the basketball mind that you are, man, how the hell is this going to work, bro?
They're gonna have to change. It's only gonna work one way. Well, they can try to force a square inside of the circle if they want to, and try to make it work with Luka still playing ball dominant basketball, and Kyrie Irving would just be Dinwiddie 2.0 or Jalen Brunson 2.0. Of course, he's better than them, but he's gonna be playing the same thing. Dinwiddie got about 15 shots a game on a good night. Jalen Brunson got about 15 shots a game on a good night. Kyrie might get 18 or 20, right? He might get a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's safe to say, is it safe to say, Jay, that we agree that Kyrie is definitely a step above Jalen Brunson?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So most definitely.
My true question is if Kyrie is cooking, because he's liable to do it, he starts cooking for 35, start touching 40, I'm sorry, Luka, you're not gonna have to touch the ball tonight. Like, is Luka gonna be okay with that?
Yeah. So it's two blueprints. It's two blueprints, right? With a guy like Luka, who is the point guard for his team and the primary scorer for his team. We got a couple of examples of that. One is LeBron in Cleveland. One is and James Harden in Houston, right? So when James Harden was in Houston and he was able to get another point guard that was good like CP3, it took away a lot from CP3's game. CP3 had to play off the ball a lot, but it worked. They got to the Western Conference Finals, and if CP3 wouldn't have messed his hamstring up, they almost probably would have beat Kevin Durant and Steph Curry led Warrior squad. So that's one blueprint if they want to continue to play that style. It just go suck for Kyrie Irving. He's gonna have to do a little bit more conforming like CP3 did. Or you got the blueprint of when Harden went to Brooklyn and said, all right, I'm gonna be a straight up point guard. I'm gonna go ahead and get 15 assists a game and maybe 20 points or 18 points a game. So imagine Luka averaging 18 and 15 and Kyrie averaging 28. That's the two ways they can do it. So is Luka going to commit to being 100% or pass first point guard, and he can score when the opportunity is there, and let Kyrie cook like Harden did, or is he going to be Harden when he was in Houston with CP3? So they both had a little success doing that though. So
right. Woo. What you think gonna happen with KD? Do you think KD's gonna finish out in Brooklyn, or you think he's gonna be moved within maybe not this year but next year?
So the reports are that Brooklyn is trying everything they can do before the deadline to do something that's gonna make Kevin Durant stay. And what's been hitting the rumor mill is that they're thinking about probably trying to package. Which is dumb, but I heard the name. They're going to package those draft picks, possibly Dinwiddie and Nick Claxton, to try to bring in the Toronto guys, Siakam and maybe OG, or Siakam and Van Fleet.
See, that's who I thought Kyrie should have been traded for Van Fleet and OG. What's his name? I can't say his name.
Nobody know.
Yeah, but I thought that he should have been. I thought that would have been a better trade package for Brooklyn, because they would have got, they would have got a point guard and they would have got a good wing defender and good role player. I thought he would have fit in with them, but Brooklyn already being limited on big men. That's gonna be tough losing Nick Claxton.
Yeah, see, them being in the East, they had two problems. They could beat a lot of teams because they had.
Looks like we lost Mail. He must Matrix. Be on that. He called in the Matrix, and he was about to drop some hot shit.
Yeah, man. I hadn't heard the Nick Claxton trade, but I thought that I thought that Fred VanVleet and I.O.W would have been a good trade for Brooklyn and the Raptors, but hey man, it's
Yeah.
man.
Well, until we get Mel back on, yeah, man. I'm just sitting here and literally just like how because I'm looking at this twofolds. Um, Obviously Brooklyn is not operating in the best of manners front office wise. They have an incapable front office people. Let's just be frank about it. All right. Um, and you know, to me, and to Mel's credit, he's always been saying the whole time, the moment you get rid of Steve Nash, you need to get rid of Sean Marks as well, because just go ahead and clean house.
Yeah.
Because it's been a lot of tension, there's been a lot of fighting.
Toxic.
It's bingo.
Toxic.
That's the best way to put it. The moment you put you know, all that toxic stuff together and it just festers and all the people involved are pretty much still there besides Steve Nash, how much at one point do you say, all right, somebody has to go?
Right.
And they chose. So they chose Kyrie.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, does he think? I mean, obviously losing Kyrie is a huge piece, right? But I mean, do you think Brooklyn getting
Here we
these
go.
pieces? Oh, okay.
Ah, man, we lost it. You was about to drop some hot
Yeah,
shit.
you was about to drop some knowledge, boy.
Boy, you was about to drop some hot shit.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we got
sir.
you.
Okay, yeah.
I
Now my battery died on y'all real quick. I had to go grab my charger. Yeah, but yeah, what was the last question again?
Shit, man. I think it was something about KD being if he was gonna be in Brooklyn or if he was gonna be moved.
Yeah. So the Toronto thing is a rumor. I was about to respond to what you were saying about bringing in Van Fleet and those guys. So the issue Brooklyn had been having is when they run up against Boston, they had even with Marcus Smart only being 6'3", he's still he's built like a freaking truck. Right. So so he's not small. He's not a small 6'3". He's a truck, right? Then you got the other two wings, Tatum and Brown. They always cause the problem because Brooklyn wants to switch every screen, and it was easy for Tatum and Brown to just hunt and find out, oh, you got Kyrie out here? We go set screens until we get Tatum or Brown on Kyrie, and he's not going to be able to stop us from getting to the rim. And if y'all do stop us, y'all go have to double and leave somebody open. So that was the issue. Patty Mills come in, same issue. Seth Curry come in, same issue. Even when last year they had Bruce Brown, same issue. They didn't have any wings,
no size
that can match up with that. And then that same thing is kind of true for Milwaukee. And then also their center, Nick Claxton, as good as he is as a defender, and Milwaukee, you got 7'1" Brook Lopez, and who's a load. He's not no skinny guy like Nick Claxton. He's a load. So the offensive rebounds was always an issue. That was always giving up a lot of offensive rebounds. And then since they switch all the screens, a lot of times Nick Claxton would end up on Giannis or end up on Drew Holiday. I mean, he'll guard people in the perimeter. So now what that does is, who's in the paint? If Nick Claxton is guarding somebody out here on the perimeter, who's in the paint? Because you're starting
nobody.
Ben Simmons, KD, and all these guys, and they're not going to be able to keep these guys off the glass. Same issue with the Bulls and Vucevic and Robert Williams, and then same thing with the Time Lord in Boston and the number 12, I forget his name, big guy, then Al Horford. There was just loads down there, so that was always the issue. They needed to get bigger at the wing, and they needed someone other than Nick Claxton who could cloud the paint, and they needed to stop trying to switch every screen against every team. Sometimes it's not necessary when you're playing somebody where their advantage is their 7-foot center. Like you're not going to beat them switching every screen and bringing up the biggest guy you got to the perimeter to guard their best player. It just don't make sense, man. So yeah, they was always.
Not to cut you off, man, but you sparked something in me because you said they're losing defenders, and size, especially on the wing and in the paint. So obviously, because of this failed mission in Brooklyn, we got to remember you traded away Jared Allen to get James Harden. So if Jared, and I'm not saying Jared Allen is one of the best centers, but he's a rim protector. He's a and he does what he does. He gets offensive rebounds, gets defensive rebounds, blocks, a rim protector. So you lose that fact in that whole ordeal, in this whole failure of trying to win a championship. But go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, you lose that in Jared Allen, but you had gained James Harden and
Well,
and a big three.
I'm just saying
and
hindsight 2020.
Yeah, hindsight
because we know that
2020.
it's failed.
But a big three can withstand some holes. Like a big three can overcome some holes. But a star and a co-star is not enough to overcome a defensive deficiency on the wing and a rebounding deficiency. But a big three can withstand it. You get what I'm saying? So that when you decided to pay 3 superstars and have a big three, it's okay to have a couple of holes because they're supposed to be able to overcome it. And then what ended up happening is they lost James Harden. Well, all the draft picks they got for James Harden is gone. And then you lose James Harden and you bring in Ben Simmons and you don't have a big three no more, but you're still paying a big three.
A big three, yeah.
Yeah. So
Ben Simmons ain't been doing too much of nothing this year.
Yeah,
man.
but it's crazy because Ben Simmons actually started hot, and then all of a sudden he did the whole Scooby Doo and said, he took off the Ben Simmons mask and then he turned out to be Ben Simmons. He's like, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you think Brooklyn, I guess, who do you think won the trade between the two in your opinion, or did they break even?
Yeah, I was gonna say go short term and go long term on that question.
I mean, Brooklyn definitely lost because they're going to lose Kevin Durant because they lost Kyrie Irving, and then Brooklyn had more to lose because they had contender capability right now. They were already contenders. They just needed to add a couple of more pieces. They like I said, they needed maybe 1 or 2 wing defenders. They could have easily went and got Jeff Green because Jeff Green was there when they almost beat Milwaukee 2 years ago. They could have went back and got Jeff Green from Denver. Denver not using him that much, right? He's still on the bench. They could have got Jeff Green. They could have signed Dwight Howard out of free agency, right?
Yeah, they could have been did that.
Yeah, they could have got another offensive punch and signed Carmelo. Like seriously, just sitting here as a GM without having to sit down and think about what trades I need to do. I could have written and got 2 veterans. That's what you're supposed to do when you got 2 superstars in their prime. You're supposed to get veterans that used to be superstars that is now willing to be a role player. You can't beat that. You getting like it's almost like getting a vintage BMW. Like you getting it for a price of a regular used car, but oh man, lo and behold, it's a treasure. You bring in Carmelo Anthony that's already mentally a role player, but still got star capabilities, but he only have to do it 22 minutes a night.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so that was easy. Dwight Howard, backup Nick Claxton, somebody whenever y'all play Joel Embiid, which you know you're gonna have to do, or Al Horford, which you know you're gonna have to do now.
You can play fouls and body.
Exactly. They're not thinking, and it's too much business going on in the NBA world. Like these owners are deciding. Yeah, these owners are deciding. Well, that player's done. We're not signing him. And all the owners decide we're not signing Carmelo no more.
I know that's crazy. Man. It's crazy.
Hey, Mel, you hitting it on the head because that moment that you had cut out, me and Jay were having a conversation of, it was a lot of toxic environment in Brooklyn, and you look at the situation, a lot of things transpired, but at the end of the day, I think me and Jay had agreed that it was just basketball people weren't in the right positions to make these decisions. Sean Marks is not a basketball dude. Joe Tsai is not a basketball guy, and they're not running this franchise like basketball people. They're running it like billionaires with a whole bunch of money, and they're playing fantasy basketball. And
Sean Marks is supposed to be a basketball. He's a former player.
No. I'm talking about the come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But because no, the reason why I'm saying he's not a basketball guy up here because he needs to understand that there's going to be injuries, there's going to be certain situations that you're not going to have this team together. But just like you said, if you go get the right pieces and make right moves, I mean, a GM's job is to improve your roster, not just at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season. No, 24/7, you need to be looking at how can you improve your roster. And to literally put everything on Kyrie and KD, rightfully so, because of who they are. What you mean? No.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. Don't
No.
stop.
I'm just saying because rightfully of who they are, because they're superstars. We just like you said, when you got a big three, even though they had a big two, there's certain deficiencies that you should be able to overcome. Now they were just a big two, but if you can't get a big third, then you at least can still build around it that can cover certain deficiencies that mask certain things that you're not good at. So I don't think that management team did their job in this whole ordeal.
I don't never
and as,
do.
and as much and this is why I didn't really want to speak on the media part is because the media is always going to say it was Kyrie. And here's my thing, how I feel about Kyrie. Is Kyrie a difficult person? Probably more than so, but it gives him the right to want certain things for his financial gain and his financial benefits because he is the player. When he set out for the vaccination, I had no issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Because he stood up for something that he believed in.
But he wasn't the only one that sat out for the vaccination. It was other players that sat out for
Of course.
It was just
but that's what I'm saying. It's the media.
Yeah.
It's the media.
Mm-hmm.
The media's been trying to make a villain of Kyrie Irving for such a long time. And that whole anti-Semitic situation I thought was bullshit. That man literally did something that we've all done. Take a picture of something and just retweeted it or reposted it. He literally said nothing. What did he say? Did anything come out of his mouth that was anti-Semitic? No. Did he type something that was anti-Semitic? No. He literally retweeted a picture of a documentary. And that documentary blew up. You know how many views that thing got since that whole ordeal? Shot up through the roof. All those producers and shit get paid off of that. Kyrie don't see a dime of that. He don't see nothing of that.
Yep.
So they've been trying to make a villain of him for such a long time. And it's like, y'all are the ones that's adding to that Days of Our Lives drama day in and day out. But my thing is, difficult people should be allowed to still have the rights that everybody is intended to. Just because they're difficult to work with. We've all worked with difficult people. But you understand what they are and what they bring. And God damn it, Kyrie brings a lot to the table basketball-wise.
He sure does.
Yeah, he sure does.
Here's the thing that's interesting about the anti-Semitic thing that we all know was BS. Mark Cuban's Jewish. He had no problem going on. I mean, he had no problem going on and signing Kyrie. Coach K is Jewish.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? So like that shouldn't even gain no traction. It was just the fact that it was Kyrie. So, but the toxicity starts with Joe Tsai, right? Yeah. There's no other owner that tweets like not even Mark Cuban. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is tweeting crazy stuff, man. And he has a personal vendetta against Kyrie, which is one of his former players, right? And I don't know what it was. Almost like he was always trying to get Kyrie back for what he did last year with the vax and not playing. Like he's blaming Kyrie for not having a ring because he felt like that window of opportunity was missed because he didn't get vax. He had Harden healthy, KD healthy, Kyrie healthy. They could have started the season. They was the favorites, and he felt like they missed a window of opportunity. So he's pissed about that. So this whole last season and this season has been almost like a way. Let me get some of my money back that I paid you right? He bought into that. Like he don't take me as the type of guy who likes losing. And Kyrie is so elusive. They've tried to destroy him so many times, and he's dodging it. And every time they get a chance, all right, now we can kick it to him. Now we can punch him. Okay, now you're not getting them max this summer. But every time they did that, Kyrie did something to just avoid the hit they was trying to get him. They was always trying to hit him and always trying to hit him. And, you know, that's what it seemed like. You know, he just wanted to get Kyrie back, and he couldn't. And Kyrie's going to sue him for his money because the New York mandate was ruled by a court to be unconstitutional and unlawful. So everybody who got fired in New York for not being vaxxed, their jobs was ordered to give them their job back and back pay. That includes Kyrie.
And you know, it's interesting. I've never heard a owner come out and say, "I didn't want to trade that player to that team because that's where he wanted to go."
Yeah,
that goes back to what you were just saying about the relationship between him and the owner. Like, I've never heard anything like that. Even if they didn't do it, like, I've never heard somebody just.
Hey, there was no way he was going to L.A. Not to the Lakers. If he was going to L.A., he was going to be a Clipper. He was not like, sending him to the Lakers.
He said, "I'm not trading Kyrie to the Lakers because that's where he wanted to go." Like, that's wild to me.
That's some spiteful shit.
Yeah, it's very spiteful stuff. And then not to mention Joe Tsai was the one who told everybody about the tweet that Kyrie tweeted. Like,
right.
Yeah, he saw it, and instead of saying, shoot, man, this is one of my players. They might be in some trouble with this. Call him, hey, Kyrie, hey, look, real quick, take that tweet down. You know, you about to get some heat. Like, that's what somebody who's really working with somebody would do. But he did it almost like a Karen calling the police on a black man. He called the social media woke police on Kyrie and was like, Kyrie Irving just tweeted out. He added Kyrie. Kyrie just tweeted out a film.
Hey, what's the meme?
Yeah. That's what he was doing. This is what he did. Yeah. This is what he did, and called the woke police on his own player to so everybody can come out and do whatever to Kyrie, and then was like, oh yeah, and we suspending you unless you apologize, and just crazy, man. Just think about that.
Mockery. Yeah, and I mean, nobody said anything to Amazon, the platform that was the movie was on. Nobody said anything about that. And like Mar said, that they was the one that was profiting off of that, the directors and stuff. But you bring up a real good point. That shit's crazy.
Everything that they say Kyrie did in Brooklyn was Joe Tsai and Sean Marks doing it. Like, the games he missed. Okay, the first season him and KD got there, KD missed the whole season. Kyrie only played 20 games because he had surgery. I can't remember, was it on his shoulder? I think he had shoulder surgery, right? Yeah. This injury goes back to Duke that he had, right? So he's playing on something that he probably should have had surgery on, but he finally found out, you know what? We just got here this year. KD not playing. We're not going nowhere. I sit out this whole year. We might get a draft pick out of this. Who knows, right? I just go ahead and get the surgery. So he missed all those games that first year. Then the second year they come, they're playing. They get to the playoffs and he messed his ankle up, right?
Yeah, in the Milwaukee series.
Yeah, I want to say he only played because he didn't play the beginning of the season.
He played like 50 or 60. I think he played like 50 or 60.
Got 54 games that year, right? So he played 54 games, man. He missed because of injury. So first 2 years in Brooklyn, he missing time because of injury. That's legit injuries, not sitting out, legit injuries, right? Mm-hmm. No, he did sit out he did take the time off that year.
He did a little partying or something. He went to his sister's birthday or some shit like that.
He took that time off for his sister's birthday because of the January 6th thing that happened. He needed some time, right? Okay, cool. He needed some time, whatever. So he got one unauthorized absence, and then he got 2 absences because of injury. Then comes the next year. That's when the vax mandate. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not getting vaccinated. Now, Jay, Lamar, if I'm you, let's put it this way. I'm Kawhi Leonard, and I come to you as a superstar and say, look, you just traded for me, but let me tell you what my doctor told me. He told me that I have arthritis in my knee, and I just had surgery, and he's recommended that I don't play back-to-back games. And then you look at the schedule and be like, all right, man, we got a lot of back-to-back, so that means you're going to miss 30 games, right? You're going to miss 30 games this season. Do you then tell your superstar, well, since you can't play back-to-backs and you're going to miss 30 games, I'm going to suspend you until you decide to play back-to-backs?
Nah. Hell
That's
nah.
that's basically what they told Kyrie. Kyrie came to them and was like, look, they just put a mandate in New York and I'm not vaccinated. What's going to happen? And it was like, well, you need to get vaccinated. No, I'm not getting vaccinated. That's not, I'm not doing it. That's,
That's not
that's
an
something,
option.
that's not,
That's
that,
not
yeah,
an option. Yeah.
that's not an
Off
option.
the
Right?
table.
And they turned around and said, well, since you're going to miss 41 games this year, because he would have missed 41 home games, he would have played 41 away games. Since you're going to miss,
Actually might have been more because Brooklyn and
Toronto.
Brooklyn home games ended when you play the Knicks on the road. You would have missed those games too.
Okay.
And Toronto and California. California, and I think it's Toronto.
Oh, then California, then
Right.
Canada. Oh, then yeah, he would miss a lot of games.
Yeah, he would have probably missed probably
50,
55, you know, which is crazy because that's what he ended up missing anyway, because they had to bring him back because KD got hurt. But anyway, so the team, instead of the team supporting their player like the Clippers support Kawhi, everybody, like the media is killing Kawhi for load management, but the Clippers is not feeding into it. They're saying we're gonna do what we do anyway because we support our star, right?
Right.
And less and less the media talk about Kawhi and load management because it's not going nowhere. But every time they talked about Kyrie in the media, it seemed like the Brooklyn Nets was listening, and then they was treating Kyrie a certain way that the media was getting their rocks off. They you know, it was good content and all of this stuff. So now you got the Brooklyn Nets against their star player saying, well, it says you can't play all the games, we're going to suspend you.
That's crazy.
That's not Kyrie's fault. How many games they end up getting in from the play-in and being an 8 seed playing Boston as a number 1 seed, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what would have happened if Kyrie would have played those games that he could, those away games
from the initial beginning?
Right. Do you think their record would have had them in the 8 seed?
Oh no, nah, they was number 1. They was in the number 1 seed before KD got hurt.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, and James Harden probably wouldn't have left.
Nope, he wouldn't have.
And he would have stayed long enough, and then boom, that mandate would have got lifted. KD probably would have never got hurt because he wouldn't been playing all them crazy minutes. The team would have been gelling and rolling. Easy day. But instead of you supporting your player, you say, since you can't play all the games, we're going to suspend you without pay. And they suspended him without pay because they thought that he was going to change his mind. And now we just recently find out that they had offered him his max extension that year if he would have got vaccinated. So he could have signed his max extension last year if he would have got vaccinated.
Devil be working, boy. Woo. Devil be working.
So is it Kyrie missed games because he was legit injured and he had that one unauthorized absence when he got caught at his sister's birthday party? Okay, everybody done had one off. LeBron quit the Cavs because he wanted David Black fired and was gone for 2 weeks, right? People do that. Dennis Rodman left, like all the stuff Dennis Rodman, all the stuff Dennis Rodman did. You didn't see the Bulls bring it out.
Left to go be on WCW Monday Night Nitro.
Exactly. But did Jordan
in the middle of the finals?
Yeah. And imagine the Bulls owner tweeting and coming out and saying something about Rodman is a 1,000 times worse than Kyrie, and people was handling it.
And you never heard of it like that. I mean, you heard bits and pieces, but it was never the way you hear about Kyrie.
Exactly. You know, I mean, this man kicking cameraman in the nuts,
marrying himself
in a wedding dress. Like, this is the type of stuff this man was doing. And you got people calling Kyrie the worst teammate in the world. I'm like, come on, are you serious?
They just going off what they hear on ESPN, man. That's it, man. That's all they doing, man. That's it, man. They just looking at what's being said. They don't research and analyze. They don't do none of that, man. They just remember what they hear.
Yeah. And Kyrie's big business for them, man. As soon as Kyrie name is on a clip, people click on it, man, and it draws a lot of conversation. So Stephen A is very aware that ESPN is very aware that anytime Kyrie Irving has something that can be talked about, they will talk about it, you know, because it's gold. It's gold.
On site.
It's gold.
Yeah.
Hey, we got about 5 minutes left. So Mel, let me ask you this real quick. If the LeBron seems pretty upset that he wasn't able, the Lakers and him weren't able, LeBron GM wasn't able to land Kyrie. Just kind of give me your thoughts on if that reunion was to happen, and what exactly would that put the Lakers, because they keep playing with getting close to 500 and then they dip and then they get close and then they dip. And if you really look at the standings, I mean, I know they're out of the play-in tournament, but I mean, it's literally a bunch of teams in the West that's literally like a spread of 5 games apart from being either the 12th team or being the 6th seed. So just kind of give me your thoughts if that reunion was to happen, man.
All right, 2 things. First, LeBron did a interview with Wilbon this morning, and they asked him about that, right? Did you hear it?
I saw it. I saw a brief clip, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet.
I see it now. Focus is shifted away from Kyrie trade.
But that's the headline. But he asked him about that, and he was like, "Dude, yeah, I'm frustrated that I didn't land somebody of that talent." He said, "I done worked with him. I got chemistry with him, all this stuff, and I know he can bring a championship." That's basically what he said. So, yeah, very interesting. The second thing I say is when you married to somebody you don't want to be with no more, it's always like you have a good time. The sex is good for like a week. And then so it's always gonna go up and down. It's gonna be very high highs and very low lows, right? You know what I mean? It's gonna be very bipolar, right? And right now they don't want to be married to Westbrook. They really don't. They want, but they're trying to make it work, right? And they thought they keep trying to divorce this man. And then you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to, a female might be like, I'm about to divorce him. And then he come home and be like, man, I just won $50,000 on his lotto ticket. And she be like, I'm gonna stay. All right, man, I ain't gonna leave now. You know what I mean? So
I'm staying there for 2 months. I'm gonna stay till that 50 run low, and I'm out of here.
So that's pretty much what's going on. But
wow.
You can see it, man. You can see it. That's why they can't perform well too long, because they be like, man, let's show them what we can do real quick. And then, hey, man, next week he gone. And then they come back in there in the locker room and they be like, dang, it's still here, man. Like, so
But
they both
LeBron wanted him though. That's the crazy thing about it.
That is the crazy thing, man. But this is my opinion about LeBron asking for Westbrook. The Brooklyn Nets had just signed Kyrie and KD, and it was a big splash that was going to be the talk of the whole summer. LeBron don't like nobody to be the talk of the town except him or talk of the NBA. So he wanted to make a splash that summer too. He was like, I'm gonna get my own superstar. Y'all joined up Kyrie and KD. Boom, I'm bringing in Westbrook. So he didn't really want to play with Westbrook, but he wanted to make that splash that summer. That's what it really was.
He paying for that one.
Yeah, he paying
for that bad. Because that shit. When they said that he was trading for Westbrook, I said, who the hell? There's gonna be little to no spacing. Like nobody has a jump shot.
Yeah,
consistently. Like,
and Jay, if you remember, they had made really good free agent signings before they signed Westbrook. They had went and got Rondo. No, it was Rondo or Schroeder. No. They went and got Schroeder. They had 3 point guards. They had Schroeder, Rondo, maybe Nunn. They went and got Nunn too. They had about 3 point guards, and they picked up Carmelo. They was just
KCP. Now they had KCP.
Yeah, they picked up a lot of good people that free agency, right? And I was like, oh shoot, the league might be in trouble.
Malik Monk.
Malik Monk. Yeah.
That's
when they was picking up all the older folks. They had the Dwight Howard, I think. They had all them boys.
Yeah, and then they messed up and traded
Carmelo
for Westbrook. Yeah, they went and got Melo. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think Westbrook was playing his best ball here in DC. Like he was giving you like 15 and 18. You know what I'm saying? He was giving you mid numbers. Bradley Beal, when he was playing, he was going off. I think
Bradley Beal was going on.
Yeah, but I think Russ fit here in DC. And then when they traded him to LA, it was like, oh yeah, I'm running with the big dogs now. So I gotta show him like I'm in LA, this is my hometown, this, that, and the other. And that shit is
statistically, Westbrook played good ball, but in real life, he hasn't played good ball since OKC and KD was there. He gets stats, but he's not playing good ball. He's not. No, trust me, he's not playing good ball. He's not. He don't have the. He don't have the skill set to play really good ball. He don't. But the stats is good. But to answer your question, Lamar, if they would have got Kyrie, it would have been lit. They definitely was gonna sell out. They definitely was gonna sell some tickets. Everybody wanted them. As soon as he requested the trade,
Everybody wanted him.
Yeah, exactly. But you had Chris Broussard, Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, and all these idiots on social media saying nobody wants you. They've been saying that since this summer. Nobody wants you, Kyrie. We talked to several GMs and none of them want you. And then as soon as he requested this trade,
everybody
Lakers,
wanted him.
Clippers, Phoenix, everybody who could put a package together wanted Kyrie, and it was like, and we go give you the max.
That shit's crazy.
We want you, and we gonna pay you.
Yeah, I like you and I want you. Come on out here.
Hey, go ahead, man. If I like you and I see
and I
we
want
gonna do this the easy way
Yeah.
or the hard way. Hey, my man said they in a divorce and they trying to get rid of her. hey, they be like, man, I've been trying to get rid of her for a long time. Man, why ain't you get rid of her? And then they look over and she over here in a old crazy position. You be like, yes,
bro,
I can't get rid of her, man.
you come home from work, man. You look over there, she ain't cleaned the house, man. Her back bigger than yours, laying over there, that big old back. And you just looking at her like, man, God, look how she sucked that jelly out of that donut, man. You know what I mean? That's every time they come in the locker room, man, they're like, man, this dude's still here, man. Just quit, bro. God,
that shit wild, man. Just give it up, man. Damn. And they stay putting them on the block too, bro. They stay putting them on the block.
Yeah. How many times you got to come home and oh man, I mean the way they shopping him, they just prostitute him out, man. It's almost
man.
Like
just stay on the block.
Yeah, you just come home, be like, hey, my homeboy gonna stay here for a couple of days. I'll be back, baby, and then leave. You know what I mean? Like you trying to give her away. That's what they trying to give Westbrook away. They can't, bro. They can't sell that coochie.
Man.
Can't get that coochie away.
Where does he fit? Like where does he fit, bro? Like can't give it away, man.
He can't get his coochie away. Yo, do you know how terrible position that is? You can't even give it away. That's a terrible position that you can't even give it away.
Give it away.
Like, hey, I be at the job and they always got like some pops or something that out of date. They said take it. It'd be the certain ones that they don't move.
Yeah,
Russ be just say just can't even give it away.
Can't give it away.
Like, just take it.
Give it away,
that's the pop, the can. I mean, like you can't even crack it open because it's big.
On the tab,
it's been dropped so many times. You know what I mean? It just bubbled up on a. You know what I mean? and then it's the highest sold in the store. It's 47 mil. 47 mil. You know what I mean? That's right.
Yeah. It's expensive as hell, ain't it?
It's very
that's
expensive,
boy. Yeah. And that's the kicker about it. But no, man. I just thought that was very interesting. How quick that trade happened with Kyrie, man. But man, as always, man, Mel, man, appreciate you hopping on, dropping the jewels. Hey, I also got it, man. Hey, big shout out to my man Double J hopping on the last minute. We probably weren't gonna do a show because I had parent-teacher conference and Mel had some stuff to take care of. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me go ahead and do a quick little special because, man, because I got inspired by Mel's episode on Sunday as they were talking about him and Jay. Big Train was talking about it. So I was like, man, let me see what Mel doing today. Let me see what Jay doing today. So I was like, man, let me put something together real quick. But man, I appreciate both of y'all fellas. Y'all know the deal. Hey, Mel, real quick, let the people know where they can find you at, man.
Man Down Sports on Facebook and YouTube, man. Y'all can go on Twitter and hit Man Down Sports up too as well, but it's dry over there. But you know what I mean? Yeah, come wet it up, man. Come wet it up.
Hey, low key, this man, because I hit Mel up, I was like, yo, bruh, like, what you doing today? He was like, oh, well, you need me to come through with that? You're like, come on, bro. No, sir.
That's hilarious.
Hey Jay,
No.
I said, what you need? You need me to come through with that big D energy?
I was, hey, so I responded. I was like, sir, I wanted your basketball expertise, but now that you came through with big D energy, I'm kind of rethinking if I even want you on the show.
A little disrespectful over there, right?
I said you can come on the show, but keep the big D energy to yourself.
But look, but that inside joke though, because I was telling him it's a Detroit podcast called Big D Energy. I was like, man, that's pretty clever, man. But I never click on it. But you know what I mean?
Oh man, bro, I had me in tears. But no, I appreciate you, man. Hey, Double J, let the people know where they can find you, big homie, before we get about you.
Hey man, Jay Jones on Twitter, IG, Facebook, TikTok. Follow us. Hit me on the sports group at 613. 613.
Hey, be on there. He be over here at TikTok.
Yeah, I got it. You can hit us on the sports group at the Man Cave Sports Group. You can hit us on YouTube, 613 Faith Productions on YouTube, 613 Faith.
Unmute yourself, Jay. You just muted yourself, bro.
My phone over here going crazy. But
there you go.
Yeah, hit me on Facebook, 613 Faith Productions. Hit us in the sports group as well, D-Man Cave Sports Podcast. Hit me on, like I said, all 4 social media platforms, Jay Jones. Chop it up, baby.
Hey, man, no doubt. Appreciate my brothers from another mother as always. Make sure y'all go check out Man Down Sports Podcast on YouTube. Show them some love. If you ain't watching them, go holler at the Man Cave Sports Podcast. And if you ain't watching them, always going over to I.O.W Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, especially YouTube for the content. I.O.W Sports One on Twitter. And as always, I'm the Wild Card Mar. Y'all come back Thursday, man. We're going to have a very super Bowl Thursday show. Get y'all ready for Super Bowl. And as always, Wild Card Mar out. Peace and love, y'all.